Hello, SNA Assassinators. This is Super Ninja Austin back here with another video. And we're going to be talking about on AEW Dynamite tonight on March 26th, 25. And probably not is like nothing too exciting and must see like your any other nights of AEW Dynamite. But it's still something that was very interesting to watch. And we got and this was not just any ordinary Dynamite though, because this was I guess the sponsored of the Minecraft movie edition of AEW Dynamite, which they were talking about. I mean, they had everything. They had Minecraft onto the side, which they were live in St. Paul, Minnesota, and yeah, we got some matches, including ones that we didn't mention, and I'll say, and even definitely the ones that we mentioned, which we knew a couple of them were going to be Well, one of them was going to be predictable, while the other one was probably the best one. And I'm not saying it because it was the main event, but for the good reason for the way they booked it. I'll say I praise Anthony Khan for making the women's division more just important as the men's counterpart. Where this was the second time probably this month that we saw a women's match main event, maybe the whole entire week. It's been the second straight week in a row that we saw the women's division. Be it the women's match being main event because they see high hopes with the AEW Women's World Championship. Hopefully they do the same with the other belt. Never mind what I just said. Unfortunately for one thing in particular, they did not have presented on tonight's Dynamite. But it's fine. They make it up for the next show. But anyways, we also got some cliffhangers, probably in a very interesting, good way, between MJF and MVP of the Hurt Syndicate, which he didn't give no answers. Well, it looked like he was about to, but they immediately got interrupted. We also got We got a match that was announced for AEW Dynasty, which is the tease of a tag team splitting. But they obviously didn't split tonight. For those that watch, or we all know, for those that watch, just like your boy SNA, y'all probably know exactly what I mean. Can catch my drift, for who I'm referring to. But yeah, we got much more things to talk about. We're gonna get things started on the opener. But before we begin to that, please make sure to hit the like button and hit subscribe and the post notification bells as well, so we can be notified first on when I'm gonna be making the next SNA video. And also subscribe over to my other channel at SNA Entertainment, which the link is in the description box below onto this video. This is where we got Kenny Omega start going for a wrist lock. This is where we got Blake Christian didn't start going for one of his own, but Kenny Omega went right back into the arm. This is where we got some pretty cool rolls and cartwheels from Blake Christian. I'm like, man, I have not watched this guy before. I was like, if I did before on AEW, it was obviously on here, it was probably in some kind of a mid-card match. And yeah, this was also a mid-card match, but it was in the opener. So Anthony Khan must see some high hopes on the guy, and also given that he's also facing the guy that you would definitely want to fight in AEW in a dream match. But this is where we got Kenny Omega to start going for headlock slams, right into the left, right, and center. Then we got Blake Christian immediately got back up, gives him right to the right corner side, throws him right to the left, but this is where Kenny Omega hit the shoulder tackle. This is where we got Blake Christian, then kicks out kicks it right back up. This is where it looked like if he just did not if he just did not got shoulder tackle right into the what's it called shoulder tackle. This is where he gave him a finger when Kenny Omega was trying to trying to come up with an explanation why he got back up so quickly after even though it's nothing major compared to his other moves, but still it's a move that will bring you down for at least a good 2 seconds, not one. But it's where we got what's the name, Blake Christian start going for the finger, which that was the ginormous mistake. And some of y'all probably gonna be saying Kenny Omega made the ginormous mistake after what he just made, with him hitting a knife edge chop, because it did some damages onto his resume, because he's now on the third place spot onto Gunther's envy list. But it's where then we got Here we got Kenny Omega go for what they call wrist lock, then going for a back suplex, drop him right into the back, first right into the canvas. This is where we got Kenny Omega, then waited for what's his name? Waiting for Blake Christian to get on the upper right, left corner side. Try to go for a back elbow. But this is where then we got Blake Christian move out of the way. Oh, yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry, but can you run the checkers for me fast?
Yeah, no problem. What do you need me to get?
A gallon of milk.
Okay, no
I'm
problem.
about to give you the card. Hold on.
Excuse me for a moment.
You'll have to go to the actual cashier.
Okay, no problem.
And then when Louis got he laid on his chest and he kind of got him sick, and he was like, "Why don't you just do this?" And I'm like, "What the fuck do you think I do all day?" And he was like, "This," and I was like, "Exactly." You did a lot. Child, and he sees it, and every time he sees Will, he always wants to do something. I'm like, "Come on, he just wants to pick him up." And then he picks him up, and he knows he'll pick you up, even if it's just for something. He knows he'll pick you up. What time is it here, Dad? When he knows you'll be going to do that. This is 80 tomorrow. Look at the this is 80. You can go on stage because it's patches. They're patching the bike. It looks like eczema really bad. When I remember when I was crazy about it, he wanted to fucking breathe it out. He literally had patches, and I was like, well, it could be baby acne, it could be eczema, and then the doctor told me it was baby. And then I had to put the cream on me, hands, and we all had to put it on, and then he got rid of it, and then now everybody is just but it's baby. Oh yeah, he's talking about. He was freaking out. You know what? And he just came from the doctor for having skinny. They didn't get rid of him at the doctor's. You can't get rid of skinny at the doctor's. They just prescribed some shit to rid of it. So when they gave you the hug, they still had it. Yeah, that's nobody. It's really good. I take it back. I get over. I was in. I don't think I know about that. I was going, why would you just give a friend doing that baby? I was joking. I wouldn't. I'm pissing me off. I was like, you guys, what? I was good for that. You know, I didn't know what it was because when me and Lewis both, when she told us, he probably didn't remember, but from that time, but when she told us, she said, do you know what babies are? And I was, and I was just like, I don't know what it is. You know? And then she said, who knows? But
Yeah.
she was like, it's a mite, and it kind of went to.
Oh, he's a half gallon. Like, I think that's the only thing that happened. They run out of the gallon. They said it didn't because it wasn't a gallon, but with the nice lady you know, she the short white girl with the short brown hair. Yeah, she just what's that called? Like digital card, like like ran it up, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so it went through as 1 gallon because she did it?
Yeah.
Okay, so it hit it off with her?
I don't know. I don't know what she did. I didn't get it. She just let me. Yeah. Yeah, very nice. I thought that, yeah, God bless you, thanks to her, yeah, for that, yeah.
They didn't have no one for.
They had no gallons. Yeah, they said their milk deliveries have been delayed for a while. Yeah.
I'm glad you still got it.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, anytime. I was about to just go back and just yeah, she was done that. Yeah, or go to Dylan Chad or somewhere. Yeah. Glad you did that though. Yeah, she's very nice. Yeah. Right. You're welcome, yeah, glad to help. Yeah, that was super quick. That's probably even like 5 minutes. I just went Sonic over this checkers, yeah.
All right, assassinators, I'm back here. Yeah, back to the review. Where was I with Kenny Omega? And Christian, Blake Christian. I meant to say assassinators. But yeah. Okay, what was it? Oh yeah, that's what it was. It was. This is where then we got Kenny Omega, like then get Irish whip by Blake Christian. This is where then he then throw him right to the other side, right into the like. All right, this is where he starts slide. On the left side is where he goes slide dug, leapfrog. This is where he hits the drop kick, which he got some pretty impressive agilities, by the way. I gotta give it to him. Even though it was facing my boy Omega, and nobody defeats Omega as the enhancer into the situation. This is where he tried to go for the right hand. This is where then we got Omega counters and hits a right hand of his own. This is where he tried to throw him right to the bottom left side. This is where he gouged him in the eyes before he can even hit him when he got his foot right into the turnbuckle. He spears him right to the apron from the left side, which is the hardest part of the ring. I was like, hey, that's my move. Like, nobody don't do that right in the apron but your boy SNA here, even though he never done it in a wrestling match. But anyway, this is where we got Blake Christian hit the diving corkscrew moonsault right onto Kenny Omega. This is where then he gave a quick handshake to, I believe, was Carly Bravo, because he's, I guess, the honorary member of the infantry. This is where it then goes up right into the. No, it wasn't Carly Bravo. Well, I'm talking about it's Lee Johnson. It was Lee Johnson. All right, what am I even talking about? This is where Kenny Omega then try to go for. Blake Christian go for a springboard flip. This is where then you got Kenny Omega hits a leg slide kick right in his back. Lee Johnson try to go for a diversion, but this is where Omega immediately hit him with the right hand. Kenny Omega's like, all right, no time for playing around. Now it's time to finish him once and for all. This is where then he hits him with a Snapdragon suplex. This is where and then he finished him off with I believe was the one-winged angel for the or no, before he got that, this is where he hits him with this fisherman sideways buster. Then he goes for the one-winged angel. 1, 2, 3. Winner of this match, Kenny Omega. Like, this match was short and sweet and to the point. Like, and it did exactly what it needed to be. And I'll say because of that, I would say I'll give it the second trophy, silver trophy of the night. It's just that not that much matches were like in the trophy level. Only the segments were, I'll say, except for the main event in this opener. But that's where Kenny Omega got on the microphone, cut a promo quickly post-match. This is where he's like, "What's going on, everybody in St. Paul's?" This is where fans start cheering, "Yeah!" Like, this is where Kenny Omega's like, "Yeah, it's unfortunate, but I'm gonna wrestle every single weekend at a chance I get." He's like, "But when I get the chance, it's coming to St. Paul's, isn't it?" This is where the fans start cheering, like, "Yeah, you know it." This is where then Kenny Omega then continue on this promo, like with him stating that when he promised him, like, that heck, like, he's gonna make it quick. And then this is where he said it very smooth and slowly. This is where then Kenny Omega continued with his losses. And this is where then he did like, I've been talking to Anthony Khan lately, and then this is what what did Kenny Omega did continue on the promo? He's like our first, he's no choice but to sign on down the line. Like, it's gonna be like a far different story. Like, when it comes to Dynasty, because like not only Rick Dickey in Speedball. Or no, before he said the second guy, he's like, and not only I have Ricky the Dicky to worry about. This is where fans are boo, like, we do not like that guy. He's such a you already get the rest. This was like, well, we also have a newcomer, someone that I knew you for a long time, like I knew for a long time, it may be new to you fans, but not to me, because it's not other than Speedball Mike Bailey. And it's our fans start cheering for him because he's starting to be a fan favorite in AEW. But before he can even continue on the promo, this is where Speedball Mike Bailey heard it clear as day, and he happened to be in gorilla position along with Anthony Khan and his assistant, the 7-foot whale. And this is where he immediately came out there because he knows the rules in professional wrestling on page 1408. This is where then he came out and see what exactly Kenny Omega mean by calling by saying his name, like if he's about to call him out. But this is where before he can even have a chance to do it, even if it was his plan, this is where we got Speedball comes out there, finally goes face to face with the cleaner, and if they ever had a match, like, this probably been a long time, I'm guessing. This is where fans start chanting beat Speedball, and this is where there's like Kenny, and this is where Kenny Omega respectfully returned the favor by saying his name, saying Speedball, well, his nickname, of course. This was he finally big here in AEW. This is where Kenny Omega you're important. This is where then Speedball said, listen, I just want to come out here and say, like you are a complete inspiration of me, and I can see why, because I see their style is very similar, like maybe not identical, but still similar. But yeah, I would say he made so many names, he was an inspiration and an idol, to all kinds of technical wrestlers like Speedball Mike Bailey. Kenny Omega's my dude. I was even him for Halloween a couple years ago. I still have the shirt. But anyways, this is where we got what's his name? Speedball Mike Bailey could do the I respect you, Kenny. And then this was like more than respect, and this was I admire you. And I was like, yeah, same here, your boy SNA here, because I'll say maybe because of Cody Rhodes, maybe the reason why I watch AEW, but when I started watching Omega, I started being no choice but to be a fan, and even my fellow YouTubers even say this guy is so awesome and so talented, I don't know how any wrestling fan cannot notice his talent. That's one of I happen unfortunately to be one of them. But at least I got a chance to watch him when I got the chance to when AEW existed. But anyway, back to the point of the video. This is where then we got Speedball Mike Bailey. I'm telling you, as a wrestler and a champion, and when it comes to Dynasty, even though I respect the hell out of you, I will I will not hold anything back when it comes to that championship. I won't pull any punches. Like, I will not hesitate. Like, even for one tip of a second, when I get the chance to get your head clean right off, like, and take your international championship. Oh, excuse me. Like, I should not be saying that out loud. But I'm just saying, like, what Mr. What's the name? Speedball Mike Bailey said. Like, wow, you were gonna start next month. Like, yeah, hopefully you do very well. Hopefully you do better than what I did when I got started on my podcast. But yeah, wish you the best of luck. I'm so happy about the great news of you starting your podcast. Like, you're finally getting there. I'm finally making an inspiration out of Assassinator right here that just told me on the comments that he's starting his own podcast. Hopefully he does very well on it. No matter what you're doing, like, yeah, hope you do. No matter what whatever subject you're talking about on your podcast, hopefully you do very phenomenal and do very perfect. Yeah. But anyways, this is where right after they start talking to each other into these back and forth exchange and the promos about their upcoming match. This is where the third member that's going to be in the three-way match then got up on the Titantron screen with him probably at his house, nice big house by the pool. Perhaps that his Samantha wife is at home, but you don't want to show her face because everybody's going to be recognizing her. And even if they don't recognize her, they'll probably be too much because given how many fans wishing to be Ricky the Dicky right now, and be exactly like him, like with his nickname fitting his description, which I'm not gonna get too much into that. But it's where Ricochet didn't start talking, saying I know I'm not a person, but even though I would slam both of you right into your faces because y'all look like a couple of mangy basketballs right now that need to be dunked in the hoop by a star like me. Like, you like, and he was like, and y'all claim that y'all gonna walk out of Dynasty is one time, but that's a complete lie because there's only could be one person, and that one person is right here. He's not even in Minnesota tonight. This is where fans start booing him because they think he really is what this nickname stands for. But it's where it's like I'm in my house. This is where I start doing the spin and walk, and you're about to do the style profile walk, like if he's the nature boy himself. This is where he's like, this is gonna be the greatest night of my life. And it's gonna be April 6th. Like, when I continue show everybody like why Ricochet is out of this world. Like, and I will get a new coin ball. Like, and then it'll be the former and he was like, and how about y'all be the best war and belt machines, and I become the new international champion? Like, oh, it sounds good. Like, totally so good right now. He's like, I could just hear Justin Roberts saying that, or whatever ring announcer that's gonna be announce me as the new champion at Dynasty. This is where then he's like, so have fun with y'all's little fancy, right? Like, how about, and this is what. And that's where then Ricky the Dicky then ended the promo onto Omega and Speedball Mike Bailey by saying that he's gonna be the one that's gonna come out with the girl and the gold because they both start the letter G, and he already got the girl because he probably wants her even though she do not want to go back to ring announcing, but at least for one night, if they do know that he's gonna win, maybe we can sneak her in and just have a surprising a surprising appearance with him saying with Justin Roberts or any ring announcer probably will announce his name is the winner of the international. If this does happen, this is where we can see Ricky the Dicky could tell me no, I already have my special ring announcer, and it'll be none other than Samantha herself. This is where she'll be like, you're a winner and new international champ. But I don't think that's gonna happen. But I'm just throwing out some fantasy booking if they do somehow change some things, and if Ricky the Dicky does win, that's a big if, 1% of a chance. We could possibly have his wife come in and announce her husband as the new international champion. But I sure hope that my boy Omega does win. With all due respect to Ricky the Dicky and Mr. Speedball, but I just think Omega is going to hold on to that title for a very while now. But this is where Ricky did his infamous and iconic This is where before he can even leave from this little video call, this is where Omega's like, not so fast, Ricky. He's like, yeah, you. Okay, it's all right, no, he's gone. Like this is where he ends his call. This is where he's like, okay, like I'm like since I can't say it right on the video call on the Titantron, I can say it right on the camera, like right here, if you like, which you're obviously gonna be watching. This is where he's like first of all, Ricochet, like if that like Galatians all in order, law and order, like and the only one thing I can congratulate on when it comes to Dynasty and to make the mistake about like just like Ricochet said, like it's not about making friends. Like the only thing he's like this is where it is like. Like it is not new to me, like I said like before, but I'm talking about the different subject. Like I don't need no friends. Like when I already have my cat at home, like to celebrate. This is where the fans are kind of like, yeah, that's all you basically need. This is where the Kenny Omega to continue on this promo, say like he's like the greatest guy you could be, Speedball. Like and it's big, it's a piece of garbage, which you know I'm about to say, but I prefer not to say it because there's kids that are watching. This is where it's like, trust me, Speedball. Like you'll be. You're my comrade personally, but when it comes to wrestling, I have one thing I have time for. There's only one thing that I root for, like, and it's what's around my shoulder, like, and it's my legacy. Like consider you and then consider Ricky the Dicky at Dynasty, like, just another stepping stone to solidifying my legacy. Like, and oh, by the way, like, welcome to All Elite Wrestling. And unfortunately, I wish I could talk a little bit more, chat, but I need to be extra one of you people, like. This is where it's like I have to go now because there's plenty of more matches and segments that need to go. So I need to leave here. But before I do, I want to say to you guys in St. Paul's, yeah, I want to say see you at Dynasty. But until then, what do you say? Good. What's that? Good night and it's catchphrase. Good night. Good night and bang or something like that or. Yeah, good night and goodbye and bang. That's what he said. That's what he basically said. And that was basically the promo segment until we got the next match that was on tonight is where it was not Beast Mortals, what I'm talking about. Brody King taking on Kyle Fletcher. And we all know that, yeah, Kyle Fletcher calls himself the promo star, and maybe that's for a good reason. But like we were not sure that it was gonna be what's the name? It's gonna be tonight's gonna be tonight or whatever. Like, but because what guy who's gonna be facing, and surprisingly, to be shocked, like let's just say Kyle Fletcher took on this big 300-pounder all by himself. At first, it was like what we expected, like Brody King gonna bring him a fight that he was unprepared for, even though he was pretending that he was prepared. But this is where we got. Donald Calliston was trying to motivate him to tell him what he needs to do. But yeah, let's say he does the dishonest, easy way out, like if he's the really rottens from the Scooby-Doo and Yogi Bear's spinoff Laugh Olympics series. But this is where then we got, what's his name? This is where we got Brody King goes for a body slam right onto Kyle Fletcher, goes for a running senton, like before he can even go to the plan of cheating. But this is where then we got this is where we got Brody King that picks up what's his name? This is where Kyle Fletcher somehow trapped him right into the left corner side. Then starts stomping on him repeatedly until he was down completely, face first into the canvas. This is where then he waited for Brody to get back up, like to be on his knees. This is where we got Kyle Fletcher, then dips him right to the left side to the right. But this is where we got Brody King goes for a counter. Then with him, like, was not going. He's like, I'm not convinced for you trying to throw me here. This was like, just go. This is like, nope. And this was like shaking his head. He pulls him right into that exact same corner, close on him out of the ring. And this is where I was like, I know that's right. Like, because like y'all make him a complete weakling if you just allow him to throw him right into the corner, even though it's all part of the act, but still like you have to make wrestling be more knowledgeable. But anyway, this is where we got Brody King then collect him right out of the ring. Like when the partial powerful force in all the professional wrestling came on, which was the commercial break. This is where we got Kyle Fletcher was just continuing to let Brody have it, like when they were still in the ringside area, when they went towards the right corner side. But this is where once the average came on, this is where Brody King hit the cannonball on him, which the fans, which he did right onto the apron on the right side. Or no, it wasn't a suicide dive. It was a suicide dive, actually. This is where the fans started chanting, holy shit. And then let me tell you, that's the only time I'm going to say it because I don't want to sound too profanity, like when I use the terms, like I want to use them sparingly. even though AEW sometimes get carried away and their wrestlers can say it on each promo, like with them just saying it over and over again. Except the only person I did not hear him say that bad word is one wrestler in particular, but I'm gonna get into in a different video for a different day. But it's where Brody King to go for a crossbody. But it's where we got Kyle Fletcher goes up and jumps right off the top onto the steel steps. This is where we got Kyle Fletcher flipped right out of it, hits him face first right into the post, then hits him back first. Then we got Kyle Fletcher going up right into the top corner apron. This is where we got That's where we got Kyle Fletcher goes for a leg swiping kick right onto the left side of the jaw. This is where we got Kyle Fletcher then runs right to the bottom corner side. This is where we go for a suicide dive. This is where he hits him back first. This is where the suicide. This is where then we got, and then he had the head bouncing right off. This is where we got. This is where we got. This is where we got. What's his name? This is where we got Donald Cass was mocking Brody King. Like if you want to prove the Proto Star wrong, all you gotta do get in there. This is where we got Brody King said to the lowest voice under his breath, saying, "Well, you shut the hell up." And this is where then he gets back in the ring, but it's where he was. At first, he was getting hit with every single move that Kyle Fletcher had to offer until Brody King finally got in control. Then tried to go for a power driver right onto him in the right corner side apron. But this is where the Protostar hits the Hell Dog with the super kick, or the Hellhound, whatever you want to call him. This is where then we got Kyle. This is where we got Kyle Fletcher then try to grab onto Brody, but it's where he hits SNA's finishing maneuver, which is the most dominating move in all the professional wrestling, the Sass Valley Driver. This is where I was starting to be like that one wrestler that saw that the other wrestler that was watching from afar, like to see who they're gonna be fighting at an upcoming pay-per-view, which it happened to be that wrestler back if not already 12 months ago. This is where I was starting to look like them, jaw dropping, oh my god, ow, I wasn't even in the match. I felt that, even though I don't feel bad for the guy, given that who his manager is, but yeah, I was like, damn. But anyways, this is where we got. But yeah, this is where we got. Both men fell down to the ground. This is where then we got. But it's where we got Rick Knox was going counting and calling out for them to get in the ring before they get counted out. But I believe they were at the count of 7. They got back in the ring when the partial powerful force was on. And once we got off this, we saw both men were going for slugging it out with one another. This is where we got Brody King goes for a slide clothesline. This is where we got Brody King's like, yeah, now it's time to finish him off. But it's where we got Kyle Fletcher. Then which is where we got to try to go for what's that called? What's that called? What's that? Like a razor's edge kind of powerbomb. But this is where we got somehow Kyle Fletcher kind of had the reverse super kick. This is where we got him picking up Brody King, which I don't know how he did so. This is where he hit the stalling tombstone power driver that made me shout, "He's not the Undertaker!" And this is where then we got what's the name? Kyle Fletcher goes for a pin. This is where we got Brody King still kicks out at 2.8, which Kyle Fletcher couldn't even believe it, because when he hit somebody with that move, even though it's not been often he used that maneuver, it's on special occasions he does that version of a tombstone power driver, but still it could not get the job done. But this is where then we got Kyle Fletcher's that's not gonna have me give up. That's where he try to hit an idealist forearm strike, but he ends up going for a clothesline. This is where then we got with him going into a 360 frenzy right in midair. This is where we got Brody King then got right back up. This is where then we got Brody King hits him with a splash onto him. This is where then he brought Kyle Fletcher right into the upper left corner side. This is where we got Brody King start and this is where then we got Brody King then go for a cannonball. But this is where he would have gotten away with so if it wasn't for the latest edition of the Donald Callis family and longtime tag team partner of Kyle Fletcher, Mark Davis, coming in and meddling and helping out his partner Kyle Fletcher move out of the way. Is where we saw a crash with Brody King hitting his lower back hard right into the turnbuckle, helping out Kyle Fletcher in the process by hitting the try to hit the avalanche brainbuster, but it's where at first it was not get. Yeah, I'll glad if you're nearby me, I'll glad would give you an interview, but anyways, this is where we got Kyle Fletcher finally hits the brainbuster off the top rope. 1, 2, 3, Mr. Kyle Fletcher, the winner of this match. But yeah, what are your thoughts on this match? Which I'll say it was very interestingly good. So I'll say give it about. I'll say give it about. I'll say the bronze trophy next to the next match. Even though I did say like there's no other matches that were like trophy like, only just these only these three right here. Well, I'll say give it about one more. This is where we got almost a post-match beatdown on the pro Brody King, but luckily Powerhouse Hobbs came in and he got a secret entrance that he comes by, like if he's his own version of SpongeBob SquarePants, like when he has a secret entrance to the Krusty Krab. This is where Powerhouse Hobbs has the secret entrance to the arena of an AEW show, which is in the sideways door. This is where he comes in, hits and he attacks. This is where he started hitting some strikes onto the former Aussie Opens. This is where he let him have with some elbow strikes on both of them. This is where we got Brody King. Finish Kyle off. This is where he closed on him out of the ring. From this is where Powerhouse out. Okay, that was my chance, my time to fight you. What's his name? Fight you. What's his name? Mark Davis. And guess who had the nerve to say Powerhouse Hobbs should have gotten arrested for interrupting their fun. Like for his hypocritical, I'll say Carney, what other insult I call him with his narcissistic Carney hypocritical ass said like with him, but yeah, this is where then he started like would not shut up just yet, which I'm surprised nobody didn't punch him directly in the noggin, considering he got all of that. And no disrespect to Simon Miller, but I'm gonna have to say, but his bald noggin, because he is bald, and it's the truth. And I believe that Simon would not take offense to that as long as I'm not being, I'll say, prejudiced about bald people. But anyways, yeah, this is where we got. But yeah. But anyway, this is where we got Powerhouse Hobbs hit him right hand to the face when he got started, when he started taking on Kyle Fletcher, Mark Davis. This is where he needs him in the midsection, but this is where Powerhouse hit a big old power clothesline, belly tag right onto what's his name, Mark Davis. This is where we got Powerhouse Hobbs, then grab onto the head of Mark Davis, but he ends up getting hit face first right into the turnbuckle. This is where then we got Mark Davis hitting some knife edge chops right onto the chest. Like if he's number one on Gunther's MVP list, but he's only at probably Omega was at number 3, so that means he's at number 5. This is where he's he made a huge, ginormous mistake of getting involved in Don Cal's family business. This is where Powerhouse Hobbs like, all right, first of all, I was already in the business, and I'm trying to finish anything that the Donald Cal's family started. But this is where he's like, and he also said, like, second of all, like, I already had a match with you tonight. That was what's they called, scheduled by Mr. Anthony Khan. So, like, what you're stating right now is highly illogical. But this is where he hits what they call he got back in the offensive side. This is where he hits him with a back body drop. This is where he tried to go for a spear attack, but this is where he gets elbowed by Mark Davis. This is where he tried to run right through an attack, but this is where we got Powerhouse Hobbs hit a power slam right onto the Donald Callis family member, the newest addition. This is where then he took off his what's called suspender straps of his onesie, because that's what we normally do when he hit his power slam. This is where he started hitting some clothesline repeatedly, like be the certain original chief of a certain tribe. This is where then fans are like, we, and this is where he threw him right to the left side. This is where then he tried to go for like, but it's where he nearly got countered by Mark Davis, but it's where he tried to bring him down with his move, like with a Uranagi slam until he gets hit with an enziguri. This is where we got This is where we got Mark Davis then try to run right to the top, run right to right to the bottom to do an attack move on the powerhouse. But this is where he did not play around whatsoever. Somebody need to take some pointers from Powerhouse Hobbs because he just immediately hits his finisher to double A spinebuster, pins him immediately. 1, 2, 3. Winner of his match, Powerhouse Hobbs, which is music start playing Powerhouse, and yeah. What are your thoughts on this match, like with these Donald Callis family members getting involved? Let me know in the comment section right down below. But this is where we got a backstage interview with what's her name? Lexi Nair was so generously selfless to help out Renee Paquette. Let's hope that Renee gave a huge thanks to Lexi Nair, the much better and professional interviewer that's unbiased, by the way. This is where she was like okay, like she started pointing out some good points about why did exactly Nicholas Wayne and his brother Kip Sabian cost Adam Copeland a shot at his AEW World Championship. He's like it's been a big shit, Blazer. Like you were just face to face with Christian, and now the next thing you know, you're going to top. Like what exactly is going on with you lately, Nick? And this is where Nicholas Wayne was like. You're finally starting to understand it now, Lexi. And I was like, yeah, what is up with everybody? What is up with everybody like Nicholas Wayne, trying to copy your boy SNA by just trying to notice the difference between her and Renee Paquette, other than their appearance. But this is where then we got things are starting to stay mentioned different of why he came what he did at Revolution. I can understand that, but yeah, like I did after AEW Revolution back about about a couple weeks ago. I'm gonna go face to face with him next week and tell him just to show you I'm gonna show you just show you how we're gonna say it properly how I repeat properly with a capital P. I have an executed plan. And he's like, "Let's go, mama." And this is where it was Kip and mom. This is where his mom gave some kind of a sneaky glimpse of a grin. This is where we got Kip Sabian looked like he was clueless, but he knows exactly what the plan is, but he did not want to speak it because considering that will spoil what's to come for next week's edition of Dynamite, which I assume is going to have something to do with whether if it's either teasing that they're going to split or they're going to be doing that. With Christian Cage probably told him this is not what I told you to do. I didn't told you to cost my deadbeat ex-brother, the match, for his World Heavyweight Championship. I didn't told you to get involved in the match at all. If I didn't lose, it's like what you said. I don't have no excuse on me not being the AEW World Champion. I made my choice cashing it in. Even though I got screwed out of the match. But I'm gonna try to find another different way to become a world championship. And even though I'm not sure if I should trust Christian Cage, considering what's basically his gimmick is, as the patriarch, so I'm not sure if I should fully agree with him on most things, but I would agree with him on this, with him saying he's not gonna put accountability of himself, and he's gonna have to pay the price by accepting that fact, and him trying to go back to being go back and actually do what he needs to do and earn himself a title match the right way, something that he's not done in years. But anyways, let me know what y'all's theories are in the comment section right down below. But speaking of the Rated R Superstar, Cope, this is where he was with his allies, Rated R, which they took all together as the Rated FTR. This is where they showed earlier today when they were in the set down backstage interview with Mr. Antonio Schiavone, the remarkable commentator next to the likes of Excalibur and Taz and Jim Ross. No including Nigel McGuinness, because he's horrible. He's a horrible excuse of an announcer. But this is where we got Antonio Schiavone. Then was like, we're gonna look a lot deeper of what we saw right on the camera. Y'all used to be next door neighbors. And then you were you, Cope, was responsible of getting their biggest break of their careers as a star. But what happened? This is where Uncle Dax I'm sorry, Antonio. I had to interrupt here. I'm sorry to interrupt here, but I have to say something to get them on my chest. Last week, I let my emotions get the better of me. And I owe out like, and on the behalf of on my other brother, Cash, Uncle Cash, the Flash, like an apology for my actions. Like, I apologize what happened. Like, I felt that like FTR like took a break of our goal and our focus, like something that we always want to be as tag team champions for the last 4 months, like go off and on, like helping you realize of your goal of becoming AEW World Champion, and unfortunately it did not happen. Like, and then it's just kind of like, like emotionally it just got to me, and I just couldn't and it just and again, it just like made me like it's just getting very angry and upset just thinking about this. Where it's like it is where Cope was like you're making it sound like I'm pulling you back away from the tag team titles. The way like I'm like the reason why I came back here like is to help you out like against the Death Rider, because they banged on the heads like for far too long, like, and I was trying to get some justice. Like, what you talking about? This is where Dax the actor like, no, like that's why I was apologizing. Let my notions get my preferences. Like, I apologize to you personally and professionally, like, because like that was totally unprofessional for me to basically just go and and just walk away from you like when you needed me the most, when you like I guess we took our eyes off the I'm saying we took our like the past 4 months, like we were directionless. This is where that Cass was yeah, like far this is where it's like no, like, you're not the only one, Uncle Dax the Axe, because, or no, Bro Axe, I should say, Bro Dax the Axe, like, because, like, I believe we all let our emotions get the better of us. I just can't see each other argue and fight anymore. Like, and yeah, and it just breaks me in half. Like, and we've been. He was like, and you've been my best friend and been side by side since then, for over 11 years now. He's like I don't know if everybody know about I know the friendship of Adam and I. Without any of one of you guys, I would have nothing. Like, I wouldn't even be in this business right now. Like, that's true, because this word didn't even said. This is where it's yeah, it's like when yeah, like for an example, like I had to sleep in my car, just like a former AEW wrestler I used to wrestle here, and he was also a former tag team champion here, that said the exact same thing just a day ago. But anyways, this is where then he continues like I had to live in they both gave me a place to stay, like they gave me they both gave me chance after chance. And any of one of you, I don't have this. I'm not where I'll be right now. My two best friends, I want both of you and I to be on the same page. That's what Uncle Dax like. Yeah, that's why we have this interview, because I want to give an apology. Like, I took it too far. Like, I want to apologize, but I think now we allow Adam to realize his goals, and then we realize our goals. It is where it's like, and now we're in this continued consistent situation. Like, yeah, we're back on track. How about me and you, Cash, will go after the Hurt Syndicates for their tag team titles, like the AEW Tag Team Champions. This where Cash the Flash, like just to stop you right real quick. I think there's still something here that I think that Red FTR have a lot of life left, like, and that we love to have to go after the trios title. Like, it at least. And we just need to be as Rated FTR at least one more time and see what we can actually do this. But this time, as champions, as trios champs. And then this is where Cope's like, yeah, like I totally agree on that. When Cope agreed on, and this is where the Cash we was like, oh, now it's all settled. Like, and I totally agree. And this is where the Cope then made it official, saying like, how about we the Death Riders of Pac, Wheeler, and Claudio take on the team of Cope, Daz, Hope, and Dax the Axe and Uncle Cash the Flash. But who do you think is going to win this match? And do you think it will be the Rated FTR, or will it be the Death Rider? As much as I hate to admit it, but I think this is going to be an angle where we're going to be seeing seeing FTR could turn on their Rated R buddy. But we're not going to get into more details further than that, like, until later on. But this is where this is where Dax the X like, okay, tough guys. This is where the Cope is at. Okay, like let me afraid that Rated FTR guys out. Like, this is where, and this is where the Cast the Flash to try to make sure that this is confirmed to be okay with Uncle Dax the Accident, which he said, yeah, like sure, like since it's the three of us, like yeah, it makes sense. But yeah, again, let me know in the comments below. Which I have a theory. This is just a tease. That this is just a teaser on what's to come, or what's the outcome of the trios tag match. But this is where we got Antonio Schiavone admitted that he loved the end of them getting back on the same page. But but your boy SNA, I see otherwise. He sees the turn. He smells the turn a mile away, and yeah, and not trying to be a negative Nancy, but just love the chaos, like the chaos storyline, like what they're putting on. And yeah, your boy like SNA very well. Like he's like his boy Simon J. Miller. He loves wrestling chaos, just like he's Dr. Robotnik. I am Shadow Hedgehog. But this is where we got Swerve Strickland came out because he got something to say to John Moxley. He's like, I want you to come out here right now. I know, none of your goons, not Pac, like if he's Tupac, and and Willa Yuta, not Willa Yuta, not Claudio Castro, and definitely not your secretary, Marina Shafir. Yeah, which I'm surprised that neither Roddy or Renee saying anything about y'all being associated with one another, with y'all being so close these days. But it's where it's like I'm here to call out John Mox right now. This is where he finally comes out right after he calls him out because he knows the rules. Even though he might have been mind controllingly brainwashed by what's their name by the brainwashed by what's that called? Brainwashed by the what's it called? The toxic water of Cincinnati, Ohio. This is where we got John Mox starts smiling, grinning. This is where he's like now time to get in the ring. Like this is where then we got this is where Swerve. This is where Swerve Trigger's one thing you should know about me. I love giving people enough rope to hang themselves. I was like, yeah, hopefully that's for John, which it was because that's for you, John. And yeah, even though your boy SNA will have some type of dream match with this man, but I want to say I want to give a round of applause on Swerve's promo. He did not leave a step, but for John Moxley, he was completely rude, disrespectful, and insulting to us guys that are thriving with these side gigs and doing things on social media and whatnot, with his. And he sounds like a complete horrible person, human being, because all thanks to his home country or home city of Cincinnati. But anyway, this is where we got Swerve Strickland started things off with him. Like you're hiding behind everybody in your group right now. You're hiding behind Pac, which everybody start cracking up because it's all like if he's talking about the rapper, without the two. But this is where then we got you're hiding behind Willer. You're hiding behind which he's like your 16-year-old son, right? That correct? And not only him, but also Claudio Castagnoli as well. And now you're even hiding behind your female member, Marina Shafir. And this was you need to have all of them. You hide behind just for you to look stronger. And this is where as our fans are chanting, this is where fans wouldn't stop chanting, whose house? Swerve's house. This is where Swerve Strickland pointed out, you are a champion, but it seems like you're not worthy to be in that position. I was like, yeah, totally, because he keeps his championships in the briefcase where he cannot get any oxygen to breathe or any air whatsoever to breathe in. But this is where he's and yeah, that little briefcase of yours, it is the reason why you carry that briefcase because you cannot look for yourself, and that's because he's getting controlled by that disgusting toxic water. Which is you cannot even look at it with you on the shoulder anymore. And then this is where Swerve Strickland continued on the promo. This is where fans would continue to shout his catchphrase, "Whose house? Swerve's house." Even if he said it, said himself, whose house? This is where they'll say it the loudest. This is where when you had it, every time I have a chance to get closer and closer to you, and finish you off, you always find a way to escape. You you told the world. This is where oh, by the way, how's your back doing? I forgot to ask you, which yeah, he didn't obviously answer that because what happened last week when his match against Cope for the AEW World Championship. And this is where the Swerve Strickland gave a little grin saying Yeah, I thought I might ask you that question. This is where the Swerve Strickland continued by saying like everything about John Moxley, like that you describe yourself as, like is looking at you right here, right now. And I was like, that I agree, like because John Moxley's been a fighting champion just like Swerve is right now. But I wonder whatever happened to that version of the Death Riders leader. But this is where the John Moxley ever grin. This is where he put Claudio Castagnoli right behind Prince Nana, which was a very coward, slick, and and profanity word move, I guess you could say. This is where the Swerve Strickland was like, like if your boy lay a single hand to my manager, like you're gonna y'all both gonna be paying the debt. Like this is where the that's where Prince Nana was not trying to do anything, trying to be the peacemaker. This is where the John Moxley continued on the promo, saying listen, like I watch you every day, every week. I know exactly who you are, Swerve. I know exactly what you are. But I did not know who you could possibly be. He's like, damn, like I have some high hopes for you. And that's where then he continues. Like, but I've been very disappointed before. Like, and I'll give you a chance of a lifetime. Step in, like, and you become everything that you could possibly be. Like, all you have to ask yourself one big question: like, how far will I be willing to go? And then this is where it's where it's like that's a question that's not even a discussion. This is like. And he's like, and then he's like, and now, like, it'll be you and me, like, and I've been focusing, like, not focusing about this, not just on April 6th, but for every single freaking day. And I'm like, yeah, of course, because not because of you. This is where they start describing the something's cold and dark, which that sounds like the sewer line of Cincinnati. He's like, the world's been bending down, like, and you got no, like, everybody can't, everybody's gone, like, whether the people that you used to hang around with, like whether if you betray them or if they betray you, or like the ones that's still by your side, which he was pointing at Prince Nana as well. They're like, hey, you put the word for yeah. Like there's a lot of questions that you gotta ask you right now, right? Like you ask who. But you already have suffered. You have suffered enough yet, but you will suffer. Like, and it will be the date of April 6th. Like, my sport been taken by billionaires and Hollywood talent agencies and kids who see the world. And then I totally took offense when he was stating by the AEW roster has been taken over by these names like billionaires and talent agencies and Instagram influencers like that don't know from their head from their ass, which I was like, man, like he's lucky to talk about this like in front of anybody, because if your boy SNA was in the ring, he would have slapped the sense into his head. Like maybe that would have been one way to get that disgusting toxic water out of his. But yeah, this is where he started referring to guys like Swerve Strickland and another wrestler in particular, which I'm not sure if I should mention them right now because they're not on tonight's AEW Dynamite. This is where John Moxley like, and there's guys like you that keep hoping that there's a better future. Like there's guys like you that they think of everything that I put my mind and my body and my soul through, like once and for a reason. And then that's where then John Moxley continued on to his I don't care what kind of podcast organization y'all work around. I don't give no damn hangout. Like, so how far are you willing to go, Swerve? Like, if you ask me, I'm going the whole way right now, which that's probably a lie, because once Swerve Strickland was fired back at him and saying that like he's ready to fight him, this is where he completely ran out there like a coward. And that's where the John Moxley had no choice but to admit that there should be no problem for him, because come on, like he is the most dangerous man in all of AEW. That's where he's like, yeah, and don't forget it. Like what Swerve Strickland probably must have said to his face, like, yeah, like don't underestimate me. That's where the fans must be saying. This is where she must have been saying stuff in inappropriate form. This is where luckily I mean, this is where not like what I'm talking about. This is where we got Marina Shafir try to come in and try to come for the aid of John Moxley, but luckily that's where Strickland had backup. Even though I'm not sure if he even asked for this type of backup, it was none other than Willow the Pillow. Then came in and went face to face with Marina Shafir because she has some heat with her like for many months now, ever since the Death Riders have existed. This is where we got Marina Shafir gave a very ugly, deafening stare right into Swerve and Moxley in the ring. This is where Swerve should be like, okay, let's get this completely straight. You're talking about unscripted violence, like what are you talking about? Talking to that somebody that's familiar with violence. Like I am the definition of violence. Man, this is where and this is why I was like, well, we're gonna have to put that into the test, like into a future showdown between you and the assassin, because that's what the assassin here is. He's the definition of violence. Like just because you haven't heard from me or seen me been in a wrestling match, you'll get a chance of your fair share of seeing what kind of volatile act that your boy SNA could do. But that's a different video for a different day. The one thing, but I'm not gonna get into none of that. That's gonna be for another day. But for right now, I was rooting for Swerve because I hope that he does knock the chemical toxins out of his head. This was Swerve. This was like you've been in plenty of death matches, but guess what? I won every single bit of death matches. And they don't call me the dangerous man in AEW for nothing. They don't call me the dangerous man of AEW for nothing. I want to give a reminder to the fans of whose house it is. This is where he shouted out. This is where fans start chanting Swerve's house. This is where Swerve Strickland then continues to in that AEW World Championship. And I will continue to lead the dynasty era of AEW Swerve Strickland. It is where it's like, and once I get a chance to start doing all that, I'll give you a shot to continue to play as John Moxley on one TV. And I was like, that sounds very familiar, to a channel that my parents used to watch on, but I'm not sure if that's exactly the channel that he's referring to, but it sounds very similar to it. But I believe it's the other way around. But this is where we got. This is where Swerve Strickland's like, oh, what you're gonna do about this? Is where we got. This is where John Moxley's like, you got a pillow back up there, but this is where then he gave a nod to Marina Shafir, where she was like, this is where then she left the building, where he left along with Claudio Castagnoli. So all right, let's get back to our hideout. This is where the This is where Swerve Strickland, he got the it was standing up tall, but this is where we got Marina Shafir comes in, turns around, trips over Will the Pill because it was orders from the leader. This is where he hits her face for because it's the hard part. This is where starting some punches, but this is where Will Nightingale was not gonna allow her to hit some strikes. This is where she speared her back first right to the top corner barricade. This is where she started to punch in the midsection. This is where despite Claudio Castagnoli picking up Marina Shafir, this is where she started whacking him in his back and in her midsection, in her face and head. This is where Prince Nana tried to be the peacemaker holding her back, but I was like, no, it has to be done, because in order for them to get that toxic water to be ended and once and for all, which I hope that again one day in Cincinnati, we'll see it getting killed from the roots of the plant, in the sewer line in Cincinnati, Ohio, where this toxic waste is coming from, wherever they get their water from. But yeah, hopefully he comes to the end much more sooner rather than later. But this is where Will the Pillow ends up immediately gets fully pulled back by Prince Nana, with Will the Pillow would not stop though. She would just continue to try to jump over the barricade, try to grab what's her name, Marina Shafir, and bring her back in the ringside area and see if she could do that again. But this is where we got Samoa Joe in Hook of the Ops. Then came and said, okay, let's. This is where then you got a little talk about how to put somebody to sleep with his Coquita clutch. But this is where he found an example, made an example out of someone, which it was none other than Maximilian Platinum Caster. That was trying to give an offer to AR Fox and what's his name in Top Flight of being a part of the best wrestler, the future best wrestler alive club faction. But none of these guys were buying it. This is where they're like, nah, we're good. This is where Maximilian's like, I think of. This is where then he was like, just look at my partner, he's still. Like he's still at Fudge on Sweet and Chocolate Kiwi killing home. Like this is where he's like, oh, he's like home. Like this is where Max make out. Like this is where the fan. Why would you be in a team when everybody does not cheer for you? This is where Maximilian Caster reassured him that they are cheering. They're just not saying as loud as they should be. They're just whispering, saying, "Max Caster, yeah, Max Caster, you're the best wrestler alive." It's where then he started repeating to him until Samoa Joe came in and started putting him to sleep. He's like, "All right, I had enough of your big mouth. Like, like now it's time for you. The talking's over. It's now time to sleep." This is where like, I see, and this is where then he gave a handshake and a hug, saying like, "Yeah, that's how you get it done." This is where they did the same to the top flight and what's his name, AR Fox, but it's where we got. Lesnar got a little advertisement of AEW Revolution, which it will indeed be in City of Brotherly Love, which they showed a little showing graffiti where they showed like him graffiti in like with Dynasty. This is where we got a backstage interview with the usually unmarkable Renee Paquette, but this time she's finally being a bit more remarkable about her her professional journalism. But this is where she interviewed a guy that used to want to bang bang with her, which it was none other than Switchblade Jay White. This is where luckily he did not say anything about no bang bangs. This is where we get. This is like, hey, Osprey, Hangman, like it's the best wrestlers that you can name right now. We got Hangman, we got Osprey, and we get Jay White now. Like in that Owen Hart Cup too. Like I was like last year Owen Hart Cup, it did not work too well. Like I I lost the Hangman like at that match like thanks to his former buddy Christian Cage like which I'm not sure if they still in association with like I end up being injured in the last 3 months of that time like I know I am not gonna be almost that I'm gonna be winning the Owen Hart Cup. I will be winning the Owen Hart Cup and earn myself to a future All-In match for the AEW World Championship, which I was like hopefully that does turn out to be the case. I'd like to see Switchblade Jay White would be in that contest of fighting for the AEW World Championship, no matter who it is that's going to be that he's going to come up against. Hopefully, he will be that guy that win the. And this was like. And he's like, once again, I get that shot at the AEW World Championship. Like, if Heyman or Billy Gunn are luckily to cross paths with me, like this was like that'd be fine with me. Like, no matter if it's Billy Gunn, the Switchblade, or what's his name, Hangman Adam Page. Like, yeah, this is fine. Like, everybody wants to dip with me. Like, how about one of the original Collision Cowboys coming? How about one of the original Collision Cowboys and I go back here like he was like which one of you guys in the locker room want to show up and show out and like, can fight the Switchblade into a match? He was like, yeah, like I'm just giving you a free chance of competing in matches, and that's courtesy of the Switchblade. And luckily, he did not bang onto Renee because who are gonna do that? Which I'm not gonna get into more details about what exactly the bang even means. But it's where we got the top flight and AR Fox got into the match, but yeah, this is where we got top flight. Then took out these jobbers. They end up winning the match. Excuse me for a moment. Yeah, man. Sorry to bother you. No, you're fine. Yeah, sure. Here you go. You're welcome. But anyway, this is where we got Dante Martin to go for an elbow strike right onto the this jobber. This is where it goes for wrist slide. This is where it goes for a knife edge chop. This is where he starts stomping on it. This is where he ends up getting jawbreaked by this. But this is where it's still this is where he gets a jawbreak by this guy. This is where he ends up hitting a running bulldog right in the face. It's where like he would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for this one guy's partner that was his tag partner came for the save, but Dante Martin took care of him. Even though he knew he got thrown right into the outside, but he hang on to the apron onto the ropes in this corner, hits a Gamin Giri. This is where then he hit the crossbody with Big Bill and Brian Keefe like. Big Bill and Brian Keefe was watching on the monitor, and yeah, I totally forgot like to talk about this in the first place, but it's where they showed like This is where we got Top Flight get the 1, 2, 3. Winner of this match, yeah, Top Flight. It is where they went face to face with the Action Andretti and Leo Rush, which we're gonna get into at. But yeah, let me know in the comment section right there. It is where we got MJF. Then he got on the microphone. I totally forgot to talk about this. This is where he's like, why you gonna do me a favor and shut the hell up? And this is where the fan like that's exactly what I thought. That's what I thought, huh? Like not so bright here in this very trashy town like of St. Paul. This was now like I got an answer for Montel Vontavious Poor. Or shall I say MVP for short? Like I have been looking at this card that you gave me like about 2 weeks. Like I've been looking at it for 14 days straight. Like, and I would like to have a little chit chat here in the ring tonight, real quick. Like, so I'm gonna give you my answer. Like MVP, if you don't mind. Like I want you to come out here. This is where he came out there immediately because the rules of professional wrestling. But this is where MVP got out. This is where as soon as. This is where he wants the answer from the salt of the earth. This is where the fans started chanting. We heard people. This is where MJ like, wow, I don't know how you do it. Like you make him more of a follower of you than me. Like when they used to be the scumbag follower like a couple years ago. This is where MJF did give a smile. Like this is where MVP is like, okay, like well, like you gave my answer. This is where the MVP. This is what MJF is like the one thing that we can all agree in this arena tonight about MVP, like is that. Like you, my friend, like are a legend in the sport of professional wrestling. Everybody agreed, started clapping, like, "Yep, thank you," which was an out of the character moment. This is where it's like the got me like that's the new Kane. Like it looks very gorgeous. Like can we talk about that Kane real quick? Which some of y'all probably think it's probably some like an ass kissing promo that MJF do, but I think it's just a general kind of compliments that he's been trying to high praise the MVP. Like yeah, that's a gorgeous Kane, right? By the way, before we get into the business with but Montel, like I gotta tell you, like despite everything that transpired between me and Adam Cole, like I made a promise to myself that I'll never associate with friends in this very sport ever, never, ever again. Like, but it's been it's been way past due of what's got encountering you, Montel. Like, yeah, and I've grown to learn about you. Like when you clock in, like you don't do friends either. Like you do business. That's the difference. Like taking care of business and associating with somebody are two separate subjects. And this is and I've been looking at this card for a long time, and I made a decision. Like, and my decision is like I want to be in the business of hurting people, and this is where the MVP like I knew you would come around and yeah, the spirit. And this is where MJ was like yeah, I'm telling you, I'm all yours, Montel. This is where MVP is like, are you sure there's not no tricks? Because like I've seen your type before, like him, This is where fans they start cheering when we heard Shelton Benjamin and Bobby Lashley, the reigning defending AEW Tag Team Champions, that came out. It's where they're like, oh my god, like they're here, which they were they did. Got a couple of days of a couple of weeks off, like since they defend those titles against the Outrunners. Which even though I didn't got just to watch, but I heard that was probably pretty decent, but I'll say the way I've seen the highlights, I think they did a super total phenomenal job. Like with them putting over the Outrunners, but at the same time showing that it's not their time, at least not yet. But anyway, this is where fans are chanting somebody about to die. Like this is where they start singing along the theme song along with the chant. Like we hurt people because it's starting to be a very catchy theme song. This is where Bob Eyes like if you're gonna handshake my leader Montel, like my boy Montel, like I would like to I like you to shake my hand first. And this is where the MJF like what who made you the boss around here? This is where MJF then took this offense. And the MVP like I want to show you, I want to see what type of grip that you have. It was like this is where the MJF was like okay, this is where they, I believe they shook hands. This is where the this is where Bobby Lashley, okay, but first, and also, like, I want you to have your card that's in your left pocket. MJF was like, my card, what you need that for? This was like, okay, like if it's like some kind of initiation for the Hurt Syndicate, this is where they grab the card back. This is where the Bobby Lashley grab onto the car. He rips it all up. This is where the MVP like, wait, like, what are you doing here? This is where Bobby Lashley like, if there's any backstabbing, this is where dude like you will get back punched, and this is where the MVP reassured him, like saying that like no, everything's all good. Like there's no backstabbing here. Just all about business. Like this is where the this is what MJF's like, I thought he said we're gonna be cool. Like this is what MVP's like, yes, then that's what we're cool. We're cool. Like, and remember, Bobby, this is what MJF was like, yeah, like don't lay a hand on me. This is where they just leaving. And where we got Brian Keith that came up, which fans start cheering for him because he's starting to be a fan favorite. That's also a heel. This is like whoa, and this is where my probably my dreams have finally came true. And this segment's not gonna get any type of trophies. Like it's gonna get the platinum trophy of the night, yeah, because it was both goofy and the best. Like yeah, at the same time. And they showed they showed the teams like who's gonna be the next challenger for the AEW, just like the Outrunners. And yeah, this my other dreams finally came true. And Anthony Khan's must have been watching the SNA podcast because we got Brian Keith then came out like, yeah, with Big Bill, like teasing the tag. It's like, yes, this is what I need in my wrestling life. Like, yeah, I need this to see this. That's where Brian Keith's like, so it is true, like what they say. Not only because, that he disrespects Chris Jericho, Mr. Montel Vontavious Porter, with them going at it on Jericho's cruise about a few years ago, like when they were just chilling there. But this was like, but also like y'all heard. He's like, you do in fact do hurt people, like, and he's like, and it's where like, and there's like they stated like that, but don't worry, like syndicate. Well, we're not. He's like we're not here to join your group therapy session, even though they should be, because like I think that they should be hurting certain wrestlers that's in the roster, especially one in particular that's holding the championship himself, that needs to be taken off. This is where Brian Keith is like we got some real business to attend to, and if I ever catch you like disrespecting my teacher again, I swear I will do more than just giving you just a basic ass whooping. It is where that and that's where the MVP that poked fun at Brian Keith by asking Big Bill, why don't you put his little bitch on her leash, like referring if he's a female dog. Which that was totally hilarious. That's why I was getting the platinum. But the sad thing is about it, it was not to that bitch man that I was referring to. Which of course, I'm talking about Kazuchika Okada, which he should be referred as the little bitch. Like hopefully that he does encounter like someone like Bobby Lashley, MVP, and Shelton Benjamin, like he did with Shelton Benjamin. But yeah, unfortunately he was not on tonight because he was a little wuss. This is where the MVP's like, okay, yeah, let the man talk. Let the man talk, bro. And this is where he's like, let me afraid of Brianna. And this is where the Big Bill's like, I see you guys standing in the ring with those tag team titles, but I don't see no challengers. Like, as a matter of fact, like I haven't seen none until like the other best tag team. Even though this is some kind of biased version of what Big Bill said, like Big Bill said from Super Ninja Austin, but this is where he basically said like, I don't see no challenge. This is where MVP's like, yeah, me neither. Like, yeah, I wonder where they went. This is where Big Bill's like, well, I got into that. This is where he did stop in full sentence. This is where like. But let me tell you something, MVP. Okay, you want to keep running your mouth, huh? Like, go come out with your cane and your little business cards. Like, I cannot tell the difference. If you got me confused with either American Psycho or even Iceberg Slim, like, or even you're a pimp or you're a businessman. This is where MVP is like, I'm a little bit of a quarter of a boat, and again, if you don't stop talking in that mitten, like me and my boys gonna make you our bitches. I was like, hopefully that you do that to Kazuchika Okada for a favor for SNA, and I'll do anything to return that favor. like even though I'm not trying to be like that certain wise man of giving out favors that I'm not sure if I should be keeping, unless if he's putting on with the best one. But this where it's like, yeah, so keep running your mouth. He told the Big Bill. This is where Big Bill's like, all I see is a chump, and you, my friend, are the MVP. Like you, the MVP of being their bitch. This is where he said it. Like if he was Cope, like the way he said it, sound like what the rated R superstar Cope would say it like. And I can see why everybody compares Big Bill to him, like because of his looks and his height and his personality. But this is where what's the name MVP's like, no, we already established who the bitch was. And I was like, yeah, like I'll say, like, and I hate to break it to Montel Fontavious Porter and Big Bill, like it's neither of you guys, like, and I wish that y'all could be saying this to Okada, even though that this is not the world don't only surrounds by Super Ninja Austin, so put the biased opinions on the side and enjoy this entertaining segment. But yeah, this is where then we got MVP. Like since you want to come in and you're gonna come out. Like, since you want to be jumping froggy at us, like, we can handle this right now. This is where Big Bill's like, no, you're already in the ring. Like, let me remind you, like, I was once a tag team champion, like, and I was never pinned for that championship, and I was not nor submitted. And he was like, that was my partner got pinned. And this is where I believe this was a shot right back at that same company for them taking shots yesterday from, what I was talking about on my podcast, on the review on that show, on their C show, on the other company C show, right, with them. Talking about like where he just came from, like from the other company, which he called a much worse name, referred it to. But yeah, this is where then he blamed his partner basically and he also probably blamed him for leaving AEW as well. Like this is where then and I was like, gee, I wonder who that guy is. This was like, and it was like, and this is where it's like, and then like for some reason Sting decided to retire with those tag team belts, and I never got a chance to win them right back at him. Like. And I didn't even got a rematch for it. So therefore, like, how about this? Like, how about we need to prove ourselves, Chris Jericho, to make a name, more of a name for herself in the learning tree's sake. And like, we're gonna challenge you for those tag team titles. And I was like, well, like, I don't think that should be a good reason why y'all getting those shots at the tag title. But I can say that they do deserve to be like in the tag team picture, like considering that they're like the tag team minions of Chris Jericho, since he's a world champion, which that's another reason that Big Bill explained. Like, how about my rematch and Keith are gonna be taking those titles? And that's why we got MVPs like chuckling along with the Hurt Syndicate. Like if they just said a very hilarious joke, like in a friendly manner, like, like yeah, like you are so fun. Like yeah, you do have some. Like you are really a comedian. Like since you and your little girlfriend won, because this is where I hope Lexi Nair don't be jealous and be very angry for MVP saying this, because it was all just a joke himself. Like because yeah, we all know Brian Keith is not not Big Bill's girlfriend. Heck, he's not even a female. But anyways, this is where we got. He's like, but tell you what, I gave you an opportunity. Like, how about put y'all in a match? And not only did, like, we will give you that match for those tag titles. And then this is where they get a shot against. This is where I drop the mic right in front of them. Then this is where they will get the opportunity against Top Flight. And I wonder who's the guy going to win. And they're going to be facing the Hurt Syndicate on the Dynasty event. But let me know in the comment section right down below what's your opinions on to that matter. But this is where we got MVP did a long distance stare with Big Bill. This is where they kind of tease what's to come, which I hope that this does happen. I need this in my life. Hopefully that we see the Hurt Syndicate and both the Vernon Tree give what's coming to Mr. What's his name? Kazuchika Okada, even though he's a heel, but who gives a flub? If they get over his baby faces, I would like to see this happening much more sooner rather than much more later, to teach that ridiculous instigator and bitch man a taste of his just desserts, I guess you could say. Yeah. Just desserts. But that's a different story for a different day. But let me know in the comments below, who do you think is going to walk out of Dynasty as the tag team champions if it does turns out to be this? Or do you think it's going to be Top Flight that's going to challenge them for the titles? Let me know in the comment section right down below. And next up, we got Mark Briscoe had a match against Konosuke Takeshita. I did nothing too special, but it still was pretty interesting. This is where this is where then Donald Cowles had the nerve to call my boy Mark Briscoe a jackass. I was like, I wonder who's talking. That's what I was saying. I said in response, I was like, I know he ain't calling nobody a jackass for a fact that he is the president of the Jackass fan club. But anyway, but not the movie, not the funny pranking movie with Johnny Knoxville and his boys. But I'm just saying, like, in general, of being a horrible human being. That's why I call him a jackass for. Like, he's worse than a jackass, like, if you ask me. Like, I'm sorry I keep saying that word, even though, like, it sounds like if I'm talking about the other word for a donkey. Like if I'm Shrek and Popeye and Bugs Bunny, like yeah. But anyways, this is where we got Mark Briscoe almost got Kyle Konosuke Takeshita on this during this match. We hit him with the J Driller, like lifting him up, spiking him down. This is where it didn't look like he was about to get the win until they point the camera right in front of the legs of Konosuke Takeshita. This is where I was like, oh, I see what they're about to do, which they end up doing. This is where he put his leg right up in the rope. Like this is where it was like a rope break. This is where we got. It was a stop at 2.99999. Might as well point away from being three. Yeah, blue. Like I said, blue ribbon of the night. This is where Mark Briscoe's like, you better stay out of this, fella. Like I'm not gonna be nice like those other my fellows will normally do, except my boy Kenny. And he's like, I won't give you the redneck kung fu if you get any closer. This is where then he picks him up. This is where he tried to go for a cutthroat reverse what was that fireman's carry? This is where he ends up getting hit with a big old forearm strike right into the face. Then followed up with another one, but it was a discus one. This is where then he hits him with the spinning Falcon Arrow for the 1, 2, 3. Winner of this match, Konosuke Takeshita, like, and this is where the show, like, there's a future with this guy. Hopefully that will indeed be, in fact, the case, like, by, or anytime after AEW Dynasty. This is where we got Claudio Castagnoli and Claudio Castagnoli and Willa Yuta, like we started talking about, they hate rated FTR's guts for guts, like, and they hate him even more when as soon as they challenge them for the trios championships. This is where then Willa Yuta, and I cannot forgive Cope trying to turn my actual family of the Death Riders against me, which he wasn't. He was trying to convince him that he's not going to. This was like, you try to rip me away from them, like you are the most sinister one of them all. This was like you try to manipulate me doing something like he's like, and my family is much more stronger than yours. And this is where the cry was like, you are pathetic. Like you come into tough and big bitter and throwing some hissy fits, which that sounds completely hypocritical or hypocrisy from Claudio Castagnoli. Like, yeah, like you are talking about like they throwing tantrums. Like, no, like when y'all lose, y'all start throwing y'all's childish tantrums. Like, yeah, they're not calling them toxic. Like the only person that I see toxic is the ones talking here. Like which that's double T for you. Like because like you. Like yeah, like you need to look in the mirror and see what's who's got the toxins in their systems, and it definitely does not say rated FTR all over it. But Pack's like yeah, it's your elegance, like your cockiness, like you have the stomach for like you well everything you done like it takes us weeks like. And it is you, Cope. Like you have the audacity to challenge us for the championship. Like like nah, like because that does not work around here. Like at AEW Dynasty, like it will be we like that will challenge you. Like we challenge you for those championships. Like if we try to see if y'all can survive the Death Riders. But it's where they start continuing to show their advertising like advertising sponsors of the what's it called, the Minecraft movie, which will be in theaters on April 4th. My nephew always keep begging his parents like to go and see that. Like he was like I want to see Minecraft, but they always keep reminding him it's gonna be like less than a month from now. And yeah, you will get the chance to see it like by once it releases anytime after April 4th. And yeah, and make sure you get your tickets today if you're a fan of Minecraft, which you're gonna give a pretty sweet reference of wrestling into there, because whoever created Minecraft must have definitely been a wrestling fan as well. And then this is where we got Bobby Lashley start asking questions of like right after Vexing Air tried to get a word in for Hurt Syndicate, but this is where MVP politely asks, like, "Can you excuse me for a second?" And this is where Bobby Lashley's like, my MVP, all I'm trying to say is that, like, you told us to go on vacation. And you, yeah, we did that, and now you catch us. Well, I mean, and you have us watching on television. You hugging Maxwell Jacob Friedman and very integral and very integral questions. This is where the news. This is where the MVP is like, yeah, exactamundo. This is where like, look, like this is where it's like, and given that y'all's performance at Revolution, yeah, like y'all thought we I gave some time off. Like I don't get no time off. Like I work because the business don't stop. Like and it's like business don't stop, and the boss never sleeps or something like that. This is where it's like, yeah. And I've been trying to look for a fourth member for some time now, and yeah, they teased that they're still looking for a fourth member, and some just tells me it's definitely not going to be Maxwell Jacob Friedman. I think that that MJF is going to take a page out of his AEW mentor, the American Nightmares playbook, and he's going to tell them to go fudge on Sweet and Chocolate Kiwi killed themselves. Like only for them to debut their latest fourth member, which he just got recently released, and he probably only waiting now is to was waiting for his 90-day not compete to expire. And what's it called? What's that called? What they uh to be disposed, I guess you could say. But it's where MVP like I just made a move, and nobody was calling for me the fourth member, so I had to take business in the matters into my own hands. I immediately would accept with some little convincing. This is where the Bob but so basically you love Maxwell. This is where. And this is where this is where MVP then let them know that he loves MJF, or this is where this is where what's the name Show Miz was like, okay, so you love the guy, but like you gotta realize this is Maxwell Jacob Friedman, like he has a. And this is where then this is where Shawn Miz was like, but he has quite of a very he got quite of a major reputation, and I don't mean it in a good way. And this is where then Bobby Lashley, well, you might like him, but I don't. Like Bobby Lashley continued, so like it is not to be trusted. Like everybody said that about him, which that's a good point from the Almighty. Like who would trust him even if you got paid like $1 billion by the man? Like he's still not to be trusted. But this is where MVP like he got some reprehensible qualities that MVP tried to convince his tag team champions. This was like his personality will be good for our business. Like everybody would like us as the syndicate. Like even though we don't care about like everybody liking this or not. Like Rob saying, my point is we'll be more successful with this business. Like he's like you don't have to. Like you don't have to like him, like especially right now. Like we could just we could tolerate all that. Like but as long as I have a mutual respect with him, like but thanks, but this is where it's like. But until then, I mean, yeah, I'm saying but y'all right now, like y'all don't have to worry about the big bill situation. Like we're on the same page, right? And this is where Shelton Benjamin and Bobby Lashley agreed by nodding their heads with Bobby response saying always, like as his answer. This is where. And this is where the Shelton ended by saying, like, let's go continue hurting people. This is where they end up walking and went their merry way right into the next stop, which that's probably gonna be at AEW Collision, if not next week's AEW Dynamite, which I think they'd probably be sitting with the commentators, like if they do make an appearance, like when they take when Top Flight be in the battle against the potential challengers of the Hurt Syndicate, and as Big Bill and Brian Keefe of the Learning Tree, and even though I'm not sure if I know like if it's the 100% guarantee that they are going to be number one contenders. I'm just nitpicking like who could possibly be like with them. Like they wouldn't be doing this they wouldn't particularly be doing this segment if they don't see nothing in this in AEW. And I think Anthony Khan's doing a tremendous job. I understand why some of these so-called fans are criticizing Anthony Khan in his work. Like it may not be for you, but it sure is for the assassin. And I'm gonna take Swerve Strickland's advice, like saying like if you like both of the shows, like just watch them. Like just don't like Just don't point out the negativities on either show. Just point out like in a logical manner, like along with you like enjoying the show. But next up, we got the main event match, which is going to get the golden trophy of the best match of the night, which was Megan, of course, Megan Bain and her little assistant Penelope Ford that has the most oddest generic and the most generic nicknames in all of the professional wrestling. And it's calling her the what's that called? What was it called? What's her name was called? The coolest bad girl or whatever, something like that. But that's where we got the timeless one in the Megasis, or the goddess of the Megasis. Or no, it was the Meta against the goddess of the Megasis. Then going at this is where we got what's her name? Thunder Rosa to try to go for shoulder tackle. This is where we got. This is where they started talking about the advertisement of Top 5 will take on Learning Tree's Big Bill and Brian Keith, while Uncle Dax the Axe will take on Willa Yuta, and the CEO Mercedes Moné will be in action on Saturday on Collision. Like normally it's the complete opposite. Like she normally makes like occasional appearances on the Collision and makes most of her appearances on Dynamite, but she haven't not made an appearance on tonight's Dynamite. Like, which I'll say that's probably unfortunate to the AEW fans, but yeah, they'll get a chance to see her in attendance like on this Saturday on Collision, right? Which I'm not sure what exactly venue they're gonna be, but they'll probably still be in the state of Minnesota, whatever city they're gonna be in. But anyways, yeah, like it's the complete opposite this week for some reason. Like maybe it's for a good one. So maybe they're probably gonna hype things up with her and Billy Starks' mentor, that's currently the reigning defending the ROH Women's Champion, the long ROH Women's Champion. And now, man, like not trying to be like too biased of being a fan of the CEO, that title would look great onto the CEO's collection? Yeah, I gotta ask you this question. Let me know down in the comment section right down below about that, by the way. But I just have a feeling that that's the reason why that she's not going to be showing up on tonight's Dynamite, and she's going to be rather on AEW Collision, so they can build things up after she squashed her enhancement opponent, so they can build things up into a future showdown between her and Athena. Yeah. But that's where we got.
Hop in the car, plug it up, turn it on, and it's on the tank.
That's where we got what happened like with Thunder Rosa and Thunder Rosa hitting some chops. This is where she started repeatedly hitting the chop. Dips her right to the bottom corner side, then right to the upper. This is where she ends up getting thrown right to the top. This is where we got the goddess of the Mega System picks her up, hits the spinning like power slam, but this is where she immediately gets tagged in by the timeless one that was probably double times as furious than her reunited partner of the Thunderstorm, Thunder Rosa. This is where it's like, come on, we can start this showdown tonight. This is where like you're like, no, like we're gonna wait until the next couple of weeks, which I understand what her excuse is, even though she is powerful, but she does not. For some reason, no one fight her just yet. Maybe it's kind of understandable because for the fact that she's not trying to spoil things like until like once they do get into the match. Like, and yeah, and this is where we also show what's going to be happening next week, which was announced by Mr. Anthony Khan, like what your girl, timeless Tony Storm would say. This is where I know before we got into the this is where we got a backstage interview with Thunder Rosa and Timeless Tony Storm earlier. With Thunder Rosa saying like, you are like 10 times as different than the last time we teamed together. When Timeless Tony Storm said we're going back together, and we have not changed a bit. Which with Thunder Rosa corrected her like when she said that. Again, yeah, she was like, yeah, she like, you nearly ended my career when you were teaming with those girls. One of them was the leader that's probably no longer going to be in AEW in the next 6 months. Like if she decided to go back to the company that she made herself famous at, just like with you, you did too, like a few years after her. But anyway, this is where this is like, you nearly almost in my career to the point that you wiped this face paint off right off my face out of disrespect. And this is where the time was story well, like we do have our very disagreeing and our differences and conflicts conflicting moments like every once in a while, which I'll say this case it was way too personal to be just be easily forgiven. Like you have to continue to have more story to play out, like which I'm not going to criticize, but at the same time, like I'm gonna have to point out the facts. Like they should have had everything prepared, like for Thunder Rosa and time is so to make up, but it would be taking a little bit of a long time. Like, and they'll have something to explain right here on tonight's AEW Dynamite. They should have been prepared for. That's the only thing I'm gonna have to be a little critical on with them about. But anyways, this is where we got this is what it's like. But now, like we finally make up, and this is where did she even talk about that? Like they have their differences and be against one another after like months of being as a duo, like by using some very I'll say odd and different and inappropriate like I'll say like analogies, I guess you could say to compare it to, yeah. But anyways, and this is where she ended it by saying like we got our chin ups and our TITs out because that's her favorite thing to talk about for some reason. I'm not sure if it's her fault or Juice Robinson's fault, like for it to be their favorite thing or their favorite object to talk about like in their relationship. But anyways, it's where we got. It's where we got Penelope Ford go for a springboard, goes for an arm drag. This is where we got what's the name? Penelope Ford try to go for a leg slide and keep swiping on her back. This is where we got the timeless one, like the tags in Thunder Rosa. This is where we got Timeless Tony Storm goes for a sidewalk backbreaker, while Thunder Rosa going for a leg drop right onto the middle of the ring. This is where we got Thunder Rosa, like or the meta, whatever you want to call her, throws her right to the bottom right corner side. Then she throws her former Thunderstorm team partner, like into a splash, is where she went down on her knees. She's like, all right, all right, Thunder, like now it's your turn, or something like whatever with a proper voice. Sound like if she's British, but she's actually Australian. But this is where she goes for a dip, goes for a drop kick. Then we got. And we got the meta Thunder Rosa to go for a pin on the Penelope, only for Penelope to kick out at 2.1. But this is where we got Thunder Rosa did not take a phase. This is where she gets thrown right to the upper right corner side. Then this is where we got Penelope Ford going for a tag, but this is where she keeps immediately getting kicked right in the midsection, right in the beginning of the partial powerful force, and all the professional wrestling came on. But this is where once the adverts came off, this is where we got Megan Bain was in control. This is where she started dragging in the likes of Thomas Toto until she kicks her right off. But this is where we got Penelope Ford going for a cutter. This is where she tried to turn around, but this is where we got Thunder Rosa. That was probably the actual legal woman. Hits the a power slam version of the Death Valley Driver, which I would have been more appreciative if it was exactly what was that. This is where she got punches and chops from the Meta. This is where then she dips her opponent right to the left to the right. This is where we got Megan Bain counters and hit the right hand right to the mid, right into the right onto the shoulder. Hits the F10. This is where she fell down. This is where she spun out, but this is where I made a huge ginormous mistake when I said that she was a legal woman. It was actually Timeless Tony Storm. Like did came in and this is where she got it right into the corner, try to go for a running hip attack, but she nearly got hit with the F10 or the F100, whatever you want to call it. This is where the time was so to a counter, try to go for a German suplex, only to get denied with an elbow right into her face, gets sent right to the upper left corner side. Megan Bain didn't try to attack her, but she gets tripped out face first right to the middle turnbuckle. Time was to hits a running hip attack right onto what's her name? Onto Megan Bain, but for some reason Megan Bain got back up. Like this is where the time starts that she down. This is where it did not put her down. I was like, hopefully that this does not be the move that helps Time Storm win the match, like to retain her women's championship if that's the plan. This is where Thomas Tony Storm couldn't even believe that Megan Bain got back up. She's like, "How did not knock you out cold? Like every woman, even Mariah, got knocked out." This is where she's like, "How?" And this is where it looked like I know where Megan Bain must have been was like, haha, yeah, like laughing, saying yeah, like the only way that you're gonna knock this Megasis down, like if you actually do rip my TITs off, which that'll be very inappropriately hilarious if she actually did like rip them off. Well, at least in kayfabe, like like even if they come up with some fake, I'll say TITs that they could get on their at their nearest Cirillas or some adult stores, like to put in onto her onto her bra, and they could just tuck it in her, and then they could see they could actually rip them off. Which I believe, yeah, Anthony Khan's not a pervert, so he's not gonna do nothing like that on the show. Like he's trying to make it more family friendly, even though despite it being TV-14. But anyways, yeah. So I don't think that's gonna be happening, luckily. But even if it does happen, so let's just say genuinely, like, yeah, if I was Megan Bain, I'll be trying, like, just like I gave a warning message to Mariah May, I'll be finding the most stillest and the most hardest metal sports bra that I could ever find in the world of professional wrestling. Like if you're gonna be facing someone like timeless Tony Storm, like for her being the TIT specialist that she is, which I'm not gonna get into much of that because yeah, it just sounds very inappropriate. Like it's already bad enough that I got a reputation of talking very or doing things that are very dirty. But anyways, this is where we got this is where this is where we got a double team like from Penelope Ford. This is where she elbows her. This is where she ends up going for an attack onto Megan Bain. But this is where she picks her up right on the shoulders, like she's a certain beast that's a male that's carnated, hits a kneel down version of a F10 or F100, I should describe it, because she's supposed to be up in the air in the heavenly location, like where the Megasis roam in, which I believe is her version of Pegasus. For those, like I said, for those that are unaware, like those are those flying horses with wings. But anyway, this is where we got Megan Bain to go for a cover. This is where she surprisingly got the 1, 2, 3 onto Timeless Tony Storm, and I guess this match alone like shows like this is the sign that we're gonna see what's gonna be the outcome of what could possibly be the outcome like of AEW Dynasty. Even though this wasn't the go home show, that's not until next week's edition of AEW Dynamite, because that will be like the show like it'll be on what day it'll be on. I'll say the first, no, the second. I'll say March 2nd of 2025. Not March, April 2nd. Well, I'm talking about March. It's not February. This is the end of March. So I'll say March 2nd of 2025. Yeah. April 2nd. I apologize, Assassinate. I don't know where my brain is. April 2nd. April 2nd, 2025. But yeah, this is where we got the heels stand up tall, especially Megan Bain, which Thunder Rosa like we lost. Like what? This is where she was in disbelief. She was very angry. She was like, I thought you got this in the bag. Like whatever happened to that? This is where we got Penelope Ford then hug Megan Bain like if she's her big sister. Well, I guess in kayfabe you could describe her as Penelope Ford's big sister. If you're a big Penelope fan, I guess you could describe you assassinators that's a fan of the British women's star. But yeah, like that was the end of tonight's AEW Dynamite. Nothing out of the ordinary, but other than this match and the segment between the Hurt Syndicate and MJF and what's his name? What's their name? Big Bill and Brian Keefe of the Learning Tree. I'll say they did a super tremendous and stupendous job, like of doing so. Like yeah, with them, like yeah, putting up on at least I'll say probably a 60% decent show, like which is probably gonna get the 4 even star show. Like normally I would give it 4.5, but that's only when most of the things that were very exciting to watch that I normally give. But since it was not really that much exciting, rather than just emotionally invested, like to watch, I'll say give it about 4 stars because it gives it that fair balance, like of saying like it was not the greatest thing I ever watched, or not even the best thing I watched in the number 1 spot at least, but but it's also something that had me tune in until next week's Dynamite, which is going to be the Go Home Show, which next week I will be doing a prediction kind of segment. And I did promise y'all I'm going to be doing a Dynasty review video, which I am going to try my best to do so. And I will give you a review video that y'all been asking for probably for AEW since December of last year, 2024, which was the last time I actually made a AEW exclusive pay-per-view review. Because I don't think the AEW Grand Slam event does count because it was replacing AEW Collision, like which came on TNT and streaming on Max. Which I was hoping that was going to be the case for the pay-per-views, but it seemed like for now, at this time, you have to either get it on the Amazon Prime account, like on your Amazon Prime account by paying an extra $50, which that sounds very insane. But True TV is kind of the same thing as well. But yeah, I don't know. Your boy SNA gonna have to figure something out about that. But yeah, like that was but for now, like that's all that we have for today, Assassinators. Like I hope y'all had a wonderful time watching this video. And for those that watch AEW Dynamite, what y'all's opinions about it, let me know in the comments down below with that as well. And also, yeah. If you like this video, please make sure to smash on the like button, hit the subscribe, and the post notification bell for more of SNA's videos. And also check out my other channel at SNA Entertainment. And I will be making a video tomorrow, which will be about the animation side of the pond. And I will indeed be talking about everything from animation, from anime to typical animation series. Like, again, and yeah, it's going to be the wildest and intriguing animation news stories and rumors that you assassinators need to know from the Conversation article. Yeah, that's the name of the animation news article, of course. And like the day after tomorrow, on Friday, I will be making a wrestling news video. We're going to be talking about the wildest and intriguing wrestling news stories and rumors that you assassinators need to know. Back to the wrestling stuff with the what that Wrestle Talk article going to be. The place that we're going to venture into what's going on in the world of professional wrestling. And then hours after that, on that Friday, I will be making a Friday Night SmackDown review video, which will be live in London, England, which they're going to be in the what they call the United Kingdom for over the weekend until Monday, until they move on to I believe Ireland, like Dublin, Ireland is next in their European tour. But let me know about that in the comments. And some just tells me this is where maybe, just maybe, we could see a certain man that's actually a woman that's going to be making her return. But anyways, yeah. But yeah, make sure to check that out. We will on Friday Night SmackDown on March 28, 2025, we will be seeing a contract sign segment between the Chick Magnet Punk, Seth Rollins, and the OTC Roman Reigns. Like the finally put ink to paper, and I do think there's going to be some more physicality involved, into this segment. Yeah, let me know down in the comment section right down below, which I'm gonna let you guys to decide. Also, we got Braun Strowman taking on LA Knight, and do you think that Braun Strowman could do the unthinkable and become a Grand Slam champion, like by dethroning Los Angeles Knight? Let me know down in the comment section right down below as well about that as well. And yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and I hope I'll see you guys like on the next video, which most of y'all, half of y'all probably gonna be watching, while the other half probably like more into wrestling stuff rather than my animated stuff, whether if it's in general or whether if you're not an animation person. But I thought I might do like different types of experiments while doing my podcast. That's why I got the other channel for. Link is in the description box below on this video as well. And I'm sorry I cut out earlier. It's just that I was having some technical difficulties, and I was like, there's no point in making a second video to apologize about that and explaining about like what's going to be next, which I end up talking about here on this channel. On this video, or why I described this video as a channel, when that when it's when I do have a channel, it's this is where this video is. It's on this main channel that I do SNA videos with, which is just Super Ninja Austin. Typically, and basically, yeah. But yeah, I will see you guys. Like, we're gonna be watching my animation news video tomorrow on March 27th, and for those that's gonna be watching my wrestling news and my wrestling reviews of Friday Night SmackDown on the 28th, I'll see you guys then, and I'll be back here with some more SNA content. Until we meet again, Super Ninja Austin out of here. Bye bye, my assassinators. Y'all take care. Have an awesome, blessed Wednesday, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.